experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Of course, we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
Yeah, showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. Rodgers now on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. He'll run it with Lacey. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, I know what I would do in this situation. You're on the road. It's the opening drive. You've gotten all the way down here. I would go for it.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now Carr going to give to Olawale. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talk about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Julius Peppers, some would call him the grand old man. He'd hate that. He just want to be a seasoned veteran who continues to make plays at a Pro Bowl level.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Throwing now is Carr, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. The 13 yards that time and a first. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4. Steps and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 5 and 8. Baby, alert, alert.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Here's Carr. It's caught by Clive Walford. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 1st down, Murray. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. For Murray in the wild card game against Houston, just 39 yards on 12 carries. So now you look at the season all told, just under 800 yards, Charles. He did score 12 touchdowns. What'd you think of his year?
I thought it was an excellent year for him, and I know 1,000 yards is the benchmark, but remember, he didn't play in all of the games, and Oakland became a passing-type team with Derek Carr throwing the ball around. I think Latavius Murray is clearly a #1 running back in the NFL, and with those 3 Pro Bowlers in front and the offensive line, I think the future is bright.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Here we go. Hello, baby, alert, alert.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that's complete to Walford. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
They'll go for it. It's Carr, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray from a yard out And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And as the Packers get set to come back out on offense, and Charles, I want to ask you a question. You can take it offensively or defensively for Green Bay as they look to next year. Where do they need to focus, draft and otherwise?
I think I'll start on the offensive side of the ball, and I think running back is going to be a position they have to address. No matter what they decide to do with Eddie Lacy, decide what they're going to do with Ty Montgomery, and get more running backs into the mix. I think offensive line, you always want to fortify that position. But flip it over to the defensive side. Who's going to be the pass rusher besides Clay Matthews? Is Nick Perry still coming on? Do they have to draft someone else to help supplement Julius Peppers? In the secondary, they need corners that can cover. That's a big spot for them.
And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. On third and long, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On fourth down, the Packers hand things over to Jake Shum to punt it. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. And we'll see Oakland take over on offense in a second. And I know these Raiders don't want to hear it, but it's kind of the talk of the town. Such a promising season, looking so good. Carr gets injured, and then they just fall off and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, in fact, when we brought it up, they told us they didn't want to talk about it. Because for them, they just want to look forward. Great year last year. They know about the injuries, Carr getting hurt, etc. But for them, the focus is now, and they think that they can be not just a playoff team again this year, but a Super Bowl contender.
And the last time they were in the playoffs, they were a Super Bowl contender back in 2003 when they fell short in Super Bowl 37. Here's Carr to throw. Crabtree with it over the middle. And for that man, Crabtree just finished his 8th NFL season. Of course, the first 6 in San Fran, last 2 were the Raiders. Barely topped the 1,000-yard mark, but he did 1,003 this season.
It's been interesting to watch the career arc of Michael Crabtree, because you remember when he came out of college, came out of Texas Tech, he was seen as a pure #1 receiver. Many thought he was going to be a future All-Pro, but he settled in as the #2 guy in Oakland, and I think that's been great for him. Taking the pressure off of Amari Cooper and making plays himself.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And quickly, they get to the line.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Carr now on first down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Now they'll run. Murray. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And he puts it through. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going